Welcome to California in Focus. I'm Aliana Carnoto. Chipotle Mexican Grill announced it is piloting an automatic avocado peeler and pit remover at one California location and an automatic bowl and salad machine at another as higher minimum wages increase relative yields from automation. Joining me with more on this story is the Center Square's California reporter, Kenneth Schrupp. Kenneth, tell us about these machines and the estimated labor costs involved.
Hey, Eliana. Let me just give a little bit of background here. So earlier this year, Chipotle raised its prices up to 7% in California to account for the state's new $20 an hour minimum wage for fast food employers. With wages going up, it makes sense for these companies to want to try to reduce their labor costs by investing in robots. Chipotle says it's put about $100 million across the two companies that are making specialized robots for its stores. This first machine, the Autocado automatic avocado pitter and peeler. So Chipotle says it takes staff 26 seconds to pit and peel each of the 129.5 million pounds of avocados it uses each year. So if you estimate about 2 avocados per pound, that means the Autocado machine would save about 1.9 million staff hours per year, or about 240,000 days of workers' labor. This adds up to about $37 million a year at $20 an hour if you were to assume every Chipotle were to adopt them and they're being paid at California wages. In other words, this is going to save a significant amount of employee time. But also remember that employee time isn't just what you're paying them for working. It takes a lot of time to train people. It takes a lot of time to recruit people. You have to manage people around shifts. People call in sick. Sometimes, people work for a very short amount of time before quitting. This Autocado machine doesn't go on strike, doesn't go on break, doesn't go to vacation, doesn't need to be hired, fired, or trained. There's a second machine that's called the Makeline automatic bowl and salad maker. And that's going to have an automated production line underneath the counter where the bowls and salads are made while staff still hand make the burritos and quesadillas on the top. That's probably going to yield a similar savings. So combined, this $100 million investment could save maybe $70 million a year in total time, not including the cost of these machines. But I would assume payback period is also pretty low for these, given that, they don't have to pay them wages. They don't go on break, etc.
And how have small business leaders responded to this?
I think we see small businesses and big businesses all united against these labor rule changes, but it ends up being small businesses that pay the biggest price. I talked to small business leaders who told me that, large businesses like Chipotle, they can spend $100 million on getting custom robots to reduce their need for workers and even improve their long-term profitability. Because once you make this capital investment, you just get returns from this increased productivity for a very long time. Meanwhile, these small businesses, they often don't have the capital and they don't have the ability to incorporate specialized robots into their operations. They just have to either pony up for higher wages and make this choice between cutting back hours, cutting back staff, or even closing their doors completely. In earlier interviews regarding this matter, we found that small businesses actually have to pay this $20 an hour fast food minimum wage indirectly because they're competing for the same pool of entry-level workers. If you know that McDonald's is going to pay you at least $20 and you're just looking for a basic job, the local small mom and pop has to raise its wages to $20 if they're going to have a chance at getting you on board. Governor Newsom has frequently cited the state's employment in the fast food industry as having improved since the fast food minimum wage bill went into effect in April of this year. However, today we now have data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that shows that fast food employment is down since the beginning of the year. Fast food employment in January 2024 is higher than it was in July. And this is interesting because generally you see employment in fast food be highest in the middle of the summer, not at the beginning of the year, which sort of begs the question, did people start these layoffs right before the fast food minimum wage went into effect? We had fast food job losses in 6 of the 7 last months, with only an increase in July of about 3,000. suggesting that, this fast food minimum wage has had a serious impact on hiring in the fast food industry.
Well, Kenneth, thank you for your insights on this story. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at centersquare.com.